Hi everyone, welcome to the last video in this small series of 5 snails from Rita Berman's Lande book. And we have 3 snails here to do today, but I am going to do them probably matching. I've got a little idea and we sort of run out of colours, so I'm going to grab, I decided that in our pink snail we used a little bit of sort of violet-y colour. We're going to do mauves and lavenders and violets today on this one, but we've got some green running through as well with the leaves. It's going to be a bit of a mix, but I think it will work. So let's come in closer and get ourselves started. Let's put Snail in the middle. The first thing I need to do is the actual snail. I haven't planned the body colour. I am thinking, will the dove grey work? Yeah, I think the dove grey might be good. Dove grey is 83. Light grey or grey might also work, but I'm going to start with the 83 and work from there really. Now, we have these eye stalks. I usually colour them fairly vibrantly. I think they're quite important. And then for the rest of the body, I tend to try and do a little bit darker around the edges of the body and a little bit lighter in the centre, just to try and add a little bit of shape or an indication of shape as we go. So we'll make it more intense here. So these are basically the areas that I want more intense. So I'm going to colour over all of those again, and then I can sort of start to fill in the central area with less layers and it should be lighter. Slightly different way to how I normally colour it, but it will just show you what I'm doing, hopefully. I hope everyone's having a good day. Let me know what you're doing in the comments. Are you colouring along? Are you just watching? Are you sitting in bed watching? Are you doing some chores while you watch? Sometimes I do that. I watch a video when I'm ironing or that sort of thing. My husband watches videos when he's vacuuming. I don't know how he manages that. But anyway, that's men for you, hey? Innovative. But I have been I'm going to do this sort of stripy bit here with a darker bit here and then lighter. Yeah, I've been trying to get a lot of jobs done today, so apart from the washing, I've been sort of busily recording actually this page, which has been a lot of fun. I actually really enjoyed it. Well, I picked it because I was in the mood for colouring snails, so that's good. I'm going to use the grey, number 8, if I can find it. There it is. For these 2 other lines. So here it is, whoops, number 8. So a little bit more bluey purpley. I think it should work. I think we used it for another one. So what I'm going to do, like I did for the other one that was like this, is where we've got a bit that comes up, make it a little bit lighter, then in the dip, get a little bit darker, lighten it up here, then darken it down here, and then lighten it as we come up like that. And although actually the very end I tend to do quite dark. Up here, start to darken it in that dip, up there, dark there. I don't know whether it makes sense, but for the shape of the snail, but I think it just makes it look jolly, and it makes it more fun for me. Right, I'm going to grab my green next and do these leaves. Okay, this is number 38. It is our sea green. I think this is a good colour to match with the sort of mauves and violets and things that I've put by for this one. I actually grabbed some colours out before I started. I never do that, but I was plotting. Sorry, I've got to blow my nose and give you a chance to catch up. Plotting, it sounds like, I don't know, some sort of crime. Yeah, I was a pencil crime. So darker here and lighter as we go up. Yeah, what sort of crime could you commit with a pencil? Or you could write some naughty words, couldn't you? I don't know any of those though, of course. I'm just an innocent little girl. Although my children do teach me words. I know most of the swear words and things like that, but phrases change and things, you know, the sort of words you use for certain things change, so they sometimes teach me. So that's quite fun. Or I'll say something, go, Mum, you can't say that. I'll say, why not? And they say, well, it means something. I'm like, does it? They're like, yes. I'm like, oh. Oops. I won't tell you the word I was using. Let you guess. Anyway, it was nothing to do with colouring. But no, I don't know what other pencil-related crimes. I guess you could you just poke someone? Just wouldn't poke them in the ribs with a pencil. It's not going to do much, is it? Depends how sharp it is, I suppose. I think the biggest crime you can commit with a pencil is not using it. There you go, controversial. Is putting it by. And I have got a set of pencils that I've not used. Well, I've used them once, I think. I don't even know if I've used them once. I bought them because they came in a pretty box, she says quietly. Really pretty box. So I bought them for that reason, and then they were too pretty. And the pencils barrels have got are really pretty as well. Each of them is themed and they're so beautiful, and I don't think the pencils themselves are really that good, to be honest. They're not quality pencils, they just look nice. So I sort of bought them thinking, oh, I can use them in photos, you know, put them beside what I've coloured and make it look pretty. And then I thought, that's so confusing. If I put a pencil by a picture that I didn't actually use to colour it, people are going to be like, well, what pencils are those? And I would tell them and they wouldn't be able to use. So I didn't do that. So, no. And because each of them has got a different themed barrel based on the colour, they don't actually match each other. So like the sort of purple one has got lavender on, and the black one has got a space scene on it, and the one's got flowers on, and they just don't work together. So I sort of, yeah, anyway, I'm not going to say any more about those. This is number 260, which is called Mauve. Now, it's quite a reddish colour, but I thought it might be nice for these berries. So I'm just going to go around the edge and then a bit less in the middle. Yeah, so I haven't coloured those other snails. I probably should have done them. Anyway, we'll do this one first. Yeah, so that's a crime, isn't it? Same with colouring books. I've got, how many colouring? I've got about less than 10 colouring books I haven't coloured in. And all of them are duplicates of books I've already got that I've either finished or part the way through. So, and mainly they were gifts, so I've already got the books. So it's okay because I'm planning, apart from one, I'm planning on using them. One of them was one my husband bought for himself, and he decided he didn't like colouring before he'd even got the book, and then he gave it to me, and I was like, that's not really my sort of book. So, so I've got that, but I think I might, I don't remember if I've coloured in it. I might have coloured one picture. If I haven't, then I think I might give it away, because it seems a shame for it to sit there and not be used. I'm also gonna, no, I'm not. I was going to say I was going to use this colour somewhere else, but I don't think I am. I've got to decide on the colour of my shell. Should we use, let's use the dark mauve. Now, I get very confused as to why this 61 is called dark mauve and this is just called mauve. What's going on with that pencil name? So I'm going to use this for the base, main base. So I'm just going to colour away and layer it up. And I think if you've got colouring books that you enjoy looking through but you haven't coloured in yet, that's fine. If you're too scared to colour in them, I quite understand, because yeah, it's daunting, especially if you've spent money and you don't have lots to spend on colouring books. You don't want to mess it up because it's not like you can buy another one to replace it. That's hard, I realise that, but I have got over that myself and I just get stuck in. But I do have nearly 100 colouring books, so of which I finished about 20, but I know I've got a lot I can do, whereas yeah, I'm not in the same situation as everybody else. Some people don't have many, but I still think that it's nice to, if you're not colouring at all, then and you've got the books, I would just say try and do one. Find a really small picture, maybe on the title page there might be a little one, or maybe right at the back. Sometimes there's an extra small picture in some books, and just start with that little one. Also, sometimes I find starting with the "This book belongs to" page is really good, because it gets it done and then it's my book, especially if you write your name in it, and then you feel like you've given yourself permission to start. But sometimes starting at the beginning is a bit daunting, because you think, well, every time I look through this book I'm going to see that first picture, and that puts pressure on you. And that my husband was saying there are people who advise with sketchbooks that you never start at the beginning, because people don't start because of that exact reason. They think, I'm going to always see that picture. So I think that's quite good advice. So I've stolen this advice, it's not my own. So don't start at the beginning, start a little bit through. But on the other hand, if you haven't, I'm going to do a bit of layering up to try and give the shell a bit of shape. So it's going to be on the edges. I am coming into the middle a little bit on some areas where it's not coloured very well. So really the idea is to go around all the edge. Yes, if you struggle to choose pages, what page should I colour? I know some people will spend ages looking through and trying to pick a page. I am impatient. Could not do that. I looked through a book the other day, couldn't find a page to colour in it, put it down, found another one, just got on with it. I just cannot sit and look for pages to colour it. That's not what I want to do. I want to colour. So there's a couple of ways you can get around that. One, take a book, first page, do that. You know, if you're avoiding the first page for the reasons we mentioned before, then do the last page and work from the back to front. You know, just do that, or get someone to choose a page for you. That's another way to do it. Now we've gone all the way around the one side, I'm going to go back round the other side. Okay, oh, having a hot flash. Whew. And the sun's come out, which is making me feel hot. Oh, I'm leaning on my hand, I'll just move it out of the way. So there's only a little bit here on this side. There we go. Hopefully that's given it a little bit of shape. It has a bit, it's not perfect, but you know, I'm not striving for perfection. I'm just going to tidy up a little bit though. I'm striving for enjoyment and fun. There we go. Nope, I'm still not quite satisfied with that. Whew, hot. Okay, let's do this flower. Let's grab the mauve. No, I'm lying. This is the lavender. I don't intentionally lie. And I'm just gonna put it down a bit darker here and a bit lighter towards the tip. This might look a bit similar to the other pink snail, but hey. And I'm going to do these like that. Now I'm going to do a bit down here, this bit here, fading towards the centre, so we can create a bit of shine on our shell hopefully. Down here, going to fill in these bits. And then this one. Towards the middle. There we go. Now I'm going to grab my darker violet, number 6, and do, firstly in here I'm going to do this bit quite lightly. I want it to look darker than the lavender, but not really dark, because this bit, do that bit dark, there we go. And here I am going to do it a bit darker and sort of fade towards the middle. And the same on this one. Keep your faded bit lined up so that makes sense. And even on this bit, I'm going to layer it up more on the outside. A bit less as we come towards that faded bit. I'm going to start there. I find it easier to go back to the edge. A bit less there. There we go. Now we have the little cheeks on this one. I'm just going to do, I'm going to be daring and use the lavender, number 62. Why not? Now we've got our next set of nails to do. Just seeing which colours we've used, that's fine. I think they're matching. I think they're a pair, so I think we do them the same. I think we could do them slightly differently to this one. I mean, it could be mummy and babies, but we're using the same base of colours, but the shell looks a bit different. So I'm going to use 8, which is our grey, for the main part, and then the 83, is it the 83? Yeah, for this tummy part, and then it just looks a little bit different to this one. I don't think I've used the 8 for the main part of a snail yet either, so it'd be, as I say, a little bit different. So remember to stay along that line. So we do, if you don't, it's not the end of the world, but I do want to try and do it lighter under there. And the idea, like last time, we've done this sort of edge in a more intense colour with lots of layers, and then a bit less coming in here. There we go. And the same on this chapess. What do you think? I'm not sure. I don't know how you tell with a snail. I really don't. Can't say I've ever tried. Don't Google it. There's certain things you really shouldn't look up. It was quite funny actually. I was at the we were at Slimbridge, the wetlands trust that we like to visit, and they've just got some new otters. We're using the 83 now. I think I'll do the same again and go around the edge a little bit more intensely. They're Asian short-clawed otters, and called Sam and Tilly, and they said it's really difficult to tell the difference between them. And I thought, oh, it's not just me that finds it hard to tell the difference. But apparently Tilly, who's the female, obviously, well, maybe not obviously with a name like Sam, Tilly is bigger and has longer whiskers. So the female is bigger, which seems quite unusual to me. Right, we're going to do a different combination of colours, I think, for this shell. So we're going to use the 260 first, which is the mauve, and do the all the stripes. Now, what I want to do is try and get a shine line in the middle. So I want it to be more intense at each end. like this. And we're going to do them both the same, although I might change up one little bit, but I'll have to think about that, but not this bit. So this bit's going to be the same on both of them. Yeah, the otters are very cute. We happened to walk past and saw them, and someone came by, one of the keepers, and she said, "You're so lucky they only just woken up today." And there they are. Oh, it's really nice. They kept staring, not very used to people watching them. There were a couple of groups first, not many, but they're sort of doing it slowly. They didn't even announce that they were there to start with, so they didn't get loads of visitors looking. This is number 6, Violet, although I would have been really annoyed if I'd gone and they were there and I hadn't realised, but they were so sweet. So the same again. Can you see how I'm leaving this little gap? But I'm going to miss one. I'm going to do this sort of striped. Just thought it might be a bit different. Let's hope I don't mess it up. I nearly did that one then. Oopsie. So yes, I do like otters, although my son tells me they're not particularly nice creatures in the wild, but maybe only particular types. So for this one, we're going to, instead of doing that one first, we're going to do that one first. So it's not a huge difference, just a little bit. And actually there might be a different number of segments on this one anyway, so we might find that they both end with the white bit in the middle, which of course we're going to colour in as well. Oh, I'm feeling thirsty. I have to go and get a drink after this. I feel like my voice is going a bit. And also check on the football. But I think we were going to do okay from the looks of the scoreline, but you can never be complacent. Yeah, look. It's still finished with the same colour in the middle. Never mind. I'm going to do this lighter colour, the 62, which is the lavender, for the other row. Not that bit. When I first got this lavender, I thought it was actually almost the same colour as this, but I can see the difference. Goodness, there's a lot of noise outside again. I don't know what's going on. Well, my neighbour's having a lot of renovations done, so it could be anything really. She's having her double garage converted into, half of it converted into a room. Her next door neighbour actually did the same thing. We don't have a double garage, so we only have a single garage, and half of ours has been, or 3/4 I suppose, has been converted into part of our kitchen. So we've all been doing similar things. The thing is, we're really lucky because this location is a very good one. It's about 10-15 minutes walk from town. It's 10 minutes from a nice supermarket, from a Waitrose. It is near the canal and the river, and the canal is pretty. It's not, you know, there are parts of it that are a bit industrial, but most of it is very pretty. So it's a really good location. Now I'm going to use this one, the 61, the dark mauve, for this little bit at the bottom. I'm going to ignore those lines and just go with that shine. Like that, and do these cheeks. Right, I'm just checking that I've done it all, and I have. Now if you want to overemphasize this curve, you can use a dark, like a grey, to put some shadow in, but I'm not going to do that. I quite like it, just quite subtle. But what I am going to do is grab some pastels and do a little bit of a background just before we finish. I think I'm just going to take a photo of that one beforehand. Sorry, bear with me before I do the background, in case I wreck it. I don't think I will. Right, so as I say, I'm going to try and match it with this side a little bit. So I'm going to grab my soft pastels. Let's just move my pencils out of the way. Let's just move across a little bit so you can see. These are the Mungyo Pastels that I use. And I think what we want is a colour like these. So that's what I'm going to grab. Let's just move this in a bit. There we go, straighten that up so it's not squiffy. And just grab the lightest one of these, sort of goldish colour. And hold the book where the on top of some of the pencil. And off we go. Quite a lot paler than the page across the way, but I'm going to get a base colour done in this, and then I'll put some darker areas on, I think, potentially just the corners like I often do. I don't often do a background when it comes to a page like this with just lots of little bits and pieces, but I don't know, I just felt like I wanted to do one today. And you don't have to. I think they work quite well on the white, really. But obviously I'm just in the mood for doing background bit, that's all. As I say, I really like the one on the other page, so I just want to tie them together really. And if you've done the one on the other page already with a completely different background, then you might want to match what you've done there, because we've got such a multicoloured page. We can sort of do anything really as the background. It's going to work. I'm almost there with just a basic bit, and then I'm going to go for something. The one next to it here is a bit darker, so I'm going to use that around the edges. Just try not to swivel the book around. Be careful when you're smearing pastel, because it can make the, you can rip the page if you go too much, so hold it down. Spoil your books. It's not a good idea. Once I've done this bit, I shall sit back and have a little look. I think it all needs to be this slightly darker colour because of the other side being a bit darker, so I'm just going to fill in all the rest with a darker colour. Oops, nearly picked up the wrong one. That would have been a bit of a waste of time, wouldn't it? Now with the soft pastels, I always get asked, do you use a fixative? I have got a video where I show the fixatives that I have, but mainly the answer is no, because it smells so much. I will put them outside. I will always do it outside if I do it, and the problem with that is that it's usually raining. Be spraying fixative outside, or it's windy and then you spray it and then the wind blows the page over so it can't dry, or it flaps the page like this and then eventually the page sort of curls up from that. So no, I don't tend to use them very much. I think we're definitely matching the other side a bit better now, aren't we? But the other side has got a few darker bits here, look, can you see? So I'm going to try and emulate that as well with a little bit of, thinking a bit of that, just a really light touch of slightly browner colour in the corners. It's not quite the same actually, it's a bit too orangey. paper. Yeah, it's similar-ish, but just use a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Let's take out the paper so you can see it without that on. I think it looks better without the paper behind. So there we go. So there is our snail page all done. Now you could embellish it with some silver pen. I'm thinking under each of the snails to make it look like they're sort of snail slime. Snail snot, I call it. Or you could colour the whole snail in a bit of glitter or not, you know, or do some shine lines in white on the shells to make them all shine. I'm just going to leave it. I like them as they are. So there we go. So there is our little snail page. So thank you for watching. If you watched the whole thing, thank you. I hope it was okay. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you coloured along, I hope you had fun. Yes, there'll be another series starting tomorrow maybe, or actually no, because this is it might not be a series. There'll be something, who knows what it might be, but there'll be something for you tomorrow. So please tune in again. If you subscribe, you'll get notifications to remind you when the videos come out. Thank you so much. Have a super day and happy colouring.